flip side. Right, so now for my usual 1 or 2 takes to start. So, hello and welcome. Namaste. My name's John King. I'm a licensed hypnotherapist and Reiki master at Karmic, and today is Thursday evening, the 8th of September, and this group Trance and chat is in theory all about the inner child and the heart chakra. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you to everyone who's both here on the call and who's joining us in person here and now from the future. Let me start by thanking and acknowledging the original custodians of this land. Thank you. And thank you to the elders, past, present, and future. I'd like to also thank and acknowledge all of our ancestors for their part in bringing us to this moment of now, for their energy, for doing their best in whatever way they could. And thank you all who are here, and thank you all who support me. I greatly appreciate your presence and co-creating this multiverse with you. So I do believe it's also Are You Okay Day today, so hopefully you are okay. If you're not, and as always, from doing a safety check and checking in on yourself to make sure that a hypnotic trance and some energy work is actually appropriate for you today. So please make sure that you are okay at that level. And if you're unsure, then make sure you check with your licensed medical practitioner to ensure that the hypnotic trance is appropriate for you. If you are underage, then please make sure you have your parents' or guardians' permission to watch this or listen to this recording. As per usual, I'm going to be rambling for about 20 minutes or so before I start the trance. Normally I would, say anyone who wants to go and just do the trance. However, with the inner child work that I hope, I intend to do today, I do advise everyone, if you haven't seen or heard this recording before, to actually watch or listen to the whole thing for the first time, because there are a couple of safety checks I want to do, and also just a little bit of talking about what we're going to be addressing. Our inner child, is this wonderful concept, and how you view it, what you feel it may or may not be. There's a huge range of possible definitions or ways of looking at it. Each of us has either a part or several parts of us that are small children, and for those of us who work with kids or who can more deeply, more easily identify and empathize with kids, know that children can be very touchy, emotional, reactive, and also extremely shy and scared. And depending on what your life journey has been like for today and to this moment of now, your inner child or your inner children, clan of children, whatever you find in there, may need a lot of love, compassion, and understanding. And we need to tread gently and softly. So first of all, I invite you as part of today to only deal with and approach those things that are right for you today, that are appropriate. And so in anchoring ourselves in a feeling of safety and loving compassion and self-kindness and warmth, make sure that if you feel there's a lot that needs to come up or is likely to come up, that you either have a support person with you as you do this, or that you see myself or a trained professional instead of simply doing this sort of off-the-shelf general trance for everyone. I will do my best, and of course you will only go as deep and as far as is right for your highest and best will and good today. So you may experience something, you may meet one of your inner child's perspectives today or not. Again, that totally depends on what is right for you today. In being loving with ourselves, I'm going to be talking about the heart chakra as well. And we're going to, as part of this process today, ideally, yes, meet our inner child in trance, listen to anything that they need to tell us. In doing that, we need to be prepared to be a nurturing, loving adult to our inner child. So if there are issues that you know or feel may come up, then before we actually start the trance, we need to make sure that we bring the wisdom and compassion and that steady ability to love and nurture to our inner child. So if there are major traumas that you are aware of that you do wish to address, then you need to already, as the adult self, have the insight and compassion to understand yourself and the situations of the trauma, and the fact that we're all in this amazing space of this world struggling with deep trauma and painful negative energy at times, and also amazing, beautiful, positive energy. So we're going to, whatever we may find, we want to be able to make our inner child feel safe and loved, and to explain to our inner child any questions it may have as to why wasn't I good enough, or I feel I wasn't good enough, or the person I love the most hurt me by abandoning me or beating me, or doing whatever it is that they did. So we need to remember and understand that both mental and physical abuse can be a form of mental illness. And for whatever reason it happened. And all of the different things in life that happen, ultimately everything just is. We attach the good or the bad labels. And as we grow and develop more and more, when we are in a nurturing, self-loving journey, we learn, and this is my experience anyway, we learn how to reframe everything so that we can grow from all of our life experiences, even the negative ones, allowing it to deepen our love and compassion for this world, and to find states of inner peace. Now, remember that forgiveness means that you no longer need an apology from the other person, from the event, or even from yourself, without condoning the action. And it is so important to remember that. So just because you forgive, just because you allow yourself to release the past and to be at peace with it, doesn't mean that what was done was right. So we're not condoning negative actions. However, we're releasing ourselves from the long-term energetic effects. Now, the heart chakra, or the heart, this amazing, in the physical form, simply this, non-stop pumping muscle, which actually has a neural network associated with it. So, the heart, we have a heart brain, a gut brain, and a brain brain. And these are amazing, interconnected, wonderful systems that I find extremely fascinating. And most of us who have a heart, who can feel our heart, who are in touch with our emotions or sometimes struggling with our emotions, there are real heartache, there's real pain that we feel as we live, and the heart wants what the heart wants, and some of what we want is unattainable, and learning to deal with that pain sometimes. And the more we observe ourselves, and the more I observe myself and my friends and my clients and life in general, and noticing how much we avoid feeling emotions and feeling into our body, and we create all these different stories and excuses and distractions so that we don't have to feel. But when we do start to feel, and we start doing our best to sit quietly, to calm, to observe and not avoid, a lot of interesting stuff can come up. very briefly from a energy perspective, and again, I'll be sending energy as part of the trance like I usually do, which you may or may not feel, which you may or may not be receptive to. When we're working with our heart, the color is green or pink. Pink quartz is a great type of crystal to have for heart healing. I've got a little bit of pink quartz here for all of us to share and resonate with as part of this trance, and allowing ourselves to enter this space. So the Sanskrit word for the heart chakra is anahata, which also it means unhurt or unstuck, unbeaten. So the intention of that name, I guess, or the observation is that ultimately we can always heal our heart when we allow ourselves to, when we work with it. So many of us harden our heart and reject love and push people and places away, and in a form of self-protection. However, once we really learn to embrace love and the pain that comes with it, it's so much more rewarding in life to be able to deeply love and accept that, yes, that leads to pain and suffering in certain ways, and yet it also leads to such wonderful emotions. And ultimately, when we reach more and more that state where we can easily forgive, where we don't take things too personally, and we simply let that love energy flow, it's a wonderful state to be in. The heart chakra also is, the key word for it is balance. It's where the energies, the higher spiritual energies, or however you view that, meets the physical energies of the body. And in Reiki, when we align the different chakras and work with coming into your heart and into your body is a wonderful sensation. And when everything is aligned, of course, life gets better. So equilibrium and balance, this inner heart, and somewhere in there is a little child, or possibly, children, different states, different ages. So, I've had a few revelations throughout the last few years of, searching into my inner depths, and some expected and some unexpected stuff has turned up that, sometimes in honoring whatever the image, emotion, feeling, message that comes from your heart is, it may give you a gentler way to be with yourself and observing how you react to certain things. So very bizarre example, for example, I've used to, when I was having all of my anxiety issues, I still have a few, but when I was at my worst, I had this extreme aversion to filling the car up with petrol, going to petrol stations. It absolutely, it would just bring these waves of emotion that, were terrifying. And quite often I'd have to get my husband to actually put petrol in the car for me because I simply couldn't and didn't want to. And, there is one of my inner children, which very distinctly was traumatized when we first came to Australia and we were driving to the beach on the weekend, and there were no easily accessible open petrol stations. We were almost out of petrol, trying to find a petrol station during, the middle of summer in, so actually it was closer to winter because we arrived here in winter. But it was just this really, everyone in the car was quite panicked, and it was this very emotional time. And, in finding that and working with it, again, it allowed me to just understand a bit more what was bringing on this panic. And, it's one of the things that when we're not listening to our inner child, or we're not connected to our inner child, then it may the behaviors of us, may be like we were ruled by that little child, but in an adult body, and it just doesn't make sense. So some of what we find can be nicely rewarding, can be very therapeutic. So the intention for today's trance, and I'll get to the trance in a minute. So the intention of what I would like to do today is we go into trance, into our healing safe space, and there we're going to create a place where we're going to allow, if it is appropriate, if today is the day, for your inner child, who will be an age or that is relevant to you where you are today, and to just have a bit of a chat and to give them some love. And in preparing for that, first of all, to anchor yourself into the ability to rapidly draw on a happy emotion, because if something negative does come up, you want to have a safety anchor. So before we even start the trance, I would like you to pick a happy emotion or a happy memory. It might be someone you love, a pet, a nice place, anything that can very quickly and immediately within you generate a feeling of joy, of love. So just for a moment, I'd like you to think of that. If you want, close your eyes, think of a happy memory, associate that with a color, or if you need or want, you might hold a crystal or something, just to make sure that you've got an anchor with you. Use the OK signal as well. And that's simply so that if something negative comes up, you can quickly enter that happy state automatically, and from that, use that calm, happy emotion to then soothe yourself and work through and with whatever has come up. So make sure that you have that in place, a happy emotion. If a color is you may prefer to think of a happy song to go with that emotion, or an image or a symbol rather than a color, or even a texture, whatever is right for you. So when we get into trance, again, it's a gentle trance today. So we're not going in there with the intention to fix everything, address everything. It might happen for you if, that's wonderful. However, it's more a gentle explore. And this is a trance that you can then listen to a few times and approach different things. And again, whatever is appropriate for the day, you'll work with and address and learn from. So, what else did I want to say before we go in there? Remind yourself that you are safe, that you are loved, and that you yourself can allow yourself to hear yourself and to hear your inner child. So, as we relax now, as always, in a moment I'm going to turn off the lights and we'll go into trance. As always, allow yourself to go to that level that is right for you today. And if you don't want to work on your inner child today, and if you don't want any of the energy, simply in your mind say, no, I'm just going to go into trance to relax and heal and enter a safe healing space. And only, take into me that energy that I'm comfortable with, that's right for me today. And you may or may not feel anything, or you may have the most amazing experience ever. So now, as you put your tray tables up and get ready for trance, make sure you're not going to be disturbed for about 45 minutes or so, 30 minutes. And when you're ready, I'll get you to look up and take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, gently allow your eyes to close. Let yourself relax. Set the intention to do no harm, and to gently and self-lovingly now give yourself permission to relax. For those experienced in trance, you may already now simply go into that deep healing, beautiful space. Or you may join me and follow me down the steps, and along the way, continue to relax and go deep. So now, as each out-breath gently relaxes you a little bit more, and the different sounds around you might drift over you and you might hear them, and more any sound that's not an emergency relaxes you and takes you deep. And all stress, tension and negative energy more and more starts to leave your body. You just breathe and relax and let go. Now I'd like you to relax your whole body as much as you can, starting with the muscles in and around your eyes. See and feel that relaxation moving down your face as you relax your cheeks, your mouth and your jaw, and even relaxing the muscles inside your mouth. See and feel that relaxation moving over your forehead, over the top of your head and down the back of your neck, as you relax your shoulders and arms, relaxing your hands and your fingers, relaxing your chest and your stomach, relaxing your hips and your legs, relaxing your feet and your toes. And as you continue to relax and drift deeper at a pace that's just right for you, then in a moment, as I count from 10 to 1, I invite you to imagine that you're walking or drifting down a small set of stairs. And at the bottom of the set of stairs is a comfortable bed with a pillow that's just perfect for you. Or if you wish, you can go straight to your healing space. So whether you get to the bed and the pillow and then drift off into a beautiful daydream, or you go straight to your healing space, allow that to happen. And by the time you reach the number 1, you'll be able to allow yourself to relax and then go to that space that's right for you today. Even if it is simply a shapeless, formless void at the start where you feel absolutely safe and secure, loved, calm and at peace. As I count from 10 at the top of the stairs, to 9, relaxing and letting go. 8, nobody wanting anything and nobody needing anything from you at the moment. This is your relaxation and trance. 7, as you gently drift deeper down. 6 and 5, more and more relaxed. 4, as all stress, tension and negative energy leaves your body at your pace. 3, more and more relaxed. 2, almost at the bottom of the stairs. And 1, drifting onto that bed, resting your head on the pillow, and drifting off into a beautiful daydream, where you now find yourself in your ideal healing space for today. This space is inviting for your inner child. So it'll be a place that you would have maybe felt safe and secure in when you were little, or whatever springs to mind. Here in this safe place, whether it's a playground or it might be by the beach or maybe in the forest somewhere. Here you are absolutely safe and secure. And if you would like, maybe there might be a little cubby house or just a perfect little hiding space, safe place. Dependent on what you were like as a child and as an adult. There might be a campfire here. If there is a fire, then it's made with flames of love, compassion and understanding. Or if you weren't fond of fires, then there will be some other cozy place. As you now allow your mind to settle into this space and without any expectation, Make yourself comfortable. Maybe you're sitting or lying down, and in this healing space, you would like, if you would like, you might like to now invite a guardian or guide. Maybe some wise person or a lovely forest spirit or simply a presence that makes you feel even safer. And if not for you, then perhaps this entity will be one that is a very safe, loving presence for your inner child. And it's okay if nothing or no one presents. That will all depend on where you're at and what's happening. But as you relax now, as you give yourself permission, just for a while to observe and notice your own tensions within yourself, and you relax and settle and drift a little bit deeper. And then again, without expectation, allow yourself now in this space to become more relaxed. And then in the most gentle and loving way, invite a younger version of you to come and say hello, if that is appropriate for you today. And since this is centered around the heart, as you relax, I wonder, how old are you now? How old is the child that is present, if it is present? And whatever you experience from now on, that's for you, hopefully to enjoy. And whatever is happening, whoever presents, allow the scene to be as gently comfortable as is perfect for you. So maybe you might simply be observing a young you from a distance, or as if looking through a television set or screen. Or they might be there, right there with you. And for a moment, as you draw on that happy memory, I also invite you to allow yourself to remember a version of you that was carefree and young. That you, that as you learned to play and observe the world, everything was exciting and new and adventurous. And as you allow your own energy matrix to remember the younger you and what that felt like, perhaps you can allow that childish, wonderful sense of joy and amazement. Perhaps you can allow yourself to remember that as the adult, so that more and more you might find that as you relax and allow yourself to love and appreciate this life and to love and appreciate yourself, to remember how amazing and always renewing and changing this world and this life is. And as you do, I invite you now to perhaps sit by the fire or simply to be in loving space. And if a younger you is present, now allow yourself to be present with that younger you. What I mean by that is, even though my words may ramble in the background, and I might give you some suggestions that will conjure up images or actions in your subconscious and conscious mind, give your conscious mind permission now to let me fade into the distance. Allow yourself to focus more on your inner child. And what do they have to say? What is it that they might want to tell you, or may need to be heard? questions they may have. And so as you spend a little bit of time with the younger you, and just in the background, there might be those guiding, guarding energies around, allowing you to feel absolutely safe and secure. And whatever your inner child might bring up, as you listen, allow yourself to listen with loving compassion. Allow yourself to reassure your inner child that you are loved, that they are loved, if you want, and if they want, if they're ready, and if you're ready. Then maybe you can start by giving them a hug. If there is something that's on their mind and they need explaining, allow yourself to reassure them, to explain that life is weird and wonderful, and that adults do things, weird things sometimes, and that whatever has happened, if there was any misunderstandings or unwanted actions, allow yourself to reassure that younger you that you are a beautiful, loving little child, and that nothing is your fault as such. Explain with love and compassion to put things in perspective. And sometimes one doesn't even need to use words. Simply love and reassure that young you, making them feel loved and wanted, letting them know that they belong to you. They are a part of you. And as you do, I invite you now to put your hand on your heart in your healing space. Allow yourself to very gently and lovingly relax into this state, depending on what you're dealing with or explaining or working through. As and when needed, allow yourself and the young you to work either with the flames of the fire that are made from love, compassion, and understanding. You can use those energies of love, compassion, and understanding to cleanse and clear any negative connections that the young you may have to other people. Just gently allow either that fire to burn through them, or if there isn't a fire, then maybe you could have a little beautiful receptacle of purifying, loving water to wash those connections with. Whatever you have and use, allow yourself to understand, to explain, and in the process to give the young you more love, more courage, more compassion, more joy, and allow yourself to tap in to the feeling of joy and renewal from the young you. And as much as possible, allow yourself to let go of any past hurt, to give the young you permission to understand that now that young you is a part of an older you, a wiser you, a more loving you. And because you've made it this far, you can allow yourself to explain and to rejoice and to feel the younger you with you always. As I count again from 10 to 1, let yourself drift deeper. Allow yourself more and more to relax into, letting go of any of the negatives from the past, to strengthen your bond with your inner child and with that younger you, and to nurture and reinforce that connection, allowing that two-way information where you can resonate with the younger you and that loving joy of life, and the younger you can feel the experience and the knowledge and wisdom and knowing that it is already the future now. As I count from 10 to 9, going twice as deep, 8, becoming twice as relaxed, 7, continuing to let go, feeling more relaxed, and only going as deep as is appropriate for you today, tapping into that safety anchor and feeling that happy, loving memory. 6, twice as deep again. 5, your subconscious mind hearing every word that I speak, even if your conscious mind drifts in and out. 4, more and more relaxed. 3, 2, and 1. And I'd like you to imagine now, and to allow, if you wish and if it's appropriate, that you and your inner child now become aware of the most beautiful, loving, healing energy as I connect my energy to yours, and more importantly, connecting that universal healing energy to us all. And perhaps you might see or feel like a beautiful shaft of sunlight touching your forehead and the younger you's forehead. And as you simply allow that radiant, loving, gentle energy to enter through the crown of your head, or in whichever way it presents to you now, you allow it. Give it permission to more deeply relax you and soothe you. As your brain relaxes and your throat relaxes as that energy sits on your throat for a moment, and then gently spreads across your shoulders and the young you's shoulders. Again, giving yourself permission to unburden now, to let go, to release and relax. As you let go of the weights that you're carrying, and the young you releases the weights that it's carrying, let yourself drift deeper and become more relaxed. And then so lovingly and gently allow that healing energy now to gently rest on your heart. As you allow your heart to resonate with all of the love of the universe, more and more letting go of judgment, letting go of insecurities and inadequacies, and instead, as you relax and drift deeper, simply letting that deep knowing, loving spread through you that everything is okay. Everything is as it is in this moment of now. As we grow and strengthen wisdom from our past, shifting the balance in such a way that our heart can open more, be more loving, share more loving energy, accepting that we are in difficult times and allowing ourselves to meet that challenge. And as we do, to relax, to more deeply love and accept ourselves. And as that loving energy resonates, Let yourself feel your heart and the younger you's heart if it's present. As you let go of any real or perceived wounds, insults, slights, accepting everyone and everything as they are, as much as we can in this moment of now. And as we do, remembering we're all connected, we're all part of this amazing journey. And we release and relax what we can. And then you gently allow that loving energy to grow from your heart and to move further into your abdomen, continuing to relax and release, unwinding and relaxing. Any tension or tightness, gently softening, easing and relaxing. Just a feeling of gentle comfort and wellness spreading through your whole body more and more. As it does, and as you do, you relax and let go. Let that energy spread through your abdomen, letting go of any guilt or shame, knowing and reassuring ourselves that we are in fact good enough, and we're always good enough. And as we reassure the younger self, allow that healing energy now to reach your root chakra at the base of your spine. Let yourself be grounded and stable and rooted into this moment, continuing to release and relax, and allowing the young you also to be grounded next to you. Balance. And as for a little while you continue to address and make peace with any aspects that you need to, as needed, you might ask for help and guidance in this space, and it will present in a way that is right for you. You may gain those insights that are again appropriate for this moment of now. And they might present at any level of consciousness or subconsciousness, or simply at the cellular level in ways that will be clear to you. And you rest in this space for a while as you continue to be at peace in this loving space. If there is anyone or anything that your inner child needs to forgive or make peace with, allow yourself now to stay in this space and talk through and work through those aspects in ways that are right for you, using either the cleansing fire with flames made from love, compassion and understanding, or that cleansing liquid, or however you view it, however you do it. And you use that energy to strengthen and deepen your connection with your inner child. And as you do, you relax. And for a while, you simply allow yourself to connect and heal. As this energy continues to flow through you and not from you, more and more relaxed and at peace. Allow yourself to love and encourage yourself and your inner child. And if and when the time is right for you, then I invite you, when you've worked through what you will and what is right for today, to give your child, your inner child, a huge hug. Make them feel loved. Make them feel, let them know that they are a part of it. And as you do, as you hug them, they become smaller and smaller. And you can simply embrace them, and they can hug your heart and be a part of your heart always with you. So keep them there. And as you do, as you allow that healing, that understanding to propagate through time, where the young you, in understanding the effects of the experience that they had when they were little, and now with your wisdom and insight, being able to view and understand, to allow that in a loving and compassionate way to ripple forward in time as the young child becomes older and simply revisits aspects of your life in ways that again can change the perspective of certain experiences, allowing you to more easily reprocess, to grow in strength and wisdom, and even for parts of your limbic system and response systems to change in a way and at a pace that is right for you, to allow you to get more joy, more fun, just to get more out of this amazing journey of life in a way that is right for you. And as you allow this to happen at your pace, relax now. Let these energies work through you and propagate forward in a way that is right for you. Allowing every single part of you now, including your inner child, to align with your brightest and best possible future. And as you let go of any resistance to that, accepting those things that you cannot change, and lovingly, with compassion and courage, changing those things that you can, finding the right balance within yourself along this journey, and finding more joy in even the little things. Then every day and every way you grow stronger, happier and healthier, calm and relaxed. And as you integrate and become that you of the future, your aura expanding, every part of you feeling more vibrant and strong. And very gently you start to prepare to return. And as you do, you bring this connection and insight back with you. And in a moment, as I gently count from 1 to 5, you will slowly return at your pace. And when I get to the number 5, your eyes will open when you're ready, feeling refreshed and calm. As I count from 1, this deeply relaxed state which is always within you, to 2, slowly and gently starting to return. If you are ready, if you're still working with your inner child, you will count each other out together when you're ready. But otherwise, from 2, you come to 3, coming closer, starting to maybe wriggle your fingers a little bit. As 4, you might start to stretch a little bit more, move some of the larger muscle groups. And 5, allowing yourself to return at your pace and in your way. And when you're ready, your eyes will open. Now, as I turn these bright lights back on, reconnect to this moment of now. And before I go and chat to the people who are still on the call, Thank you to everyone who is watching this and has watched this. Thank you again to all of my supporters. I greatly appreciate it. Next week's session is going to be on communication and the throat chakra, so stay tuned for that. And any questions are always welcome. All feedback is greatly appreciated. And I think that is all that I need to say for today. I hope you have the most wonderful evening and or whatever time you watch this, and rest of day, rest of infinity. Many blessings. Namaste.